Oliver and Arthur passed him coming down. They both thought his special was magnificent. Rosie passed Stepney in a siding. Stepney was waiting to puff onto the main line. The points changed. Stepney blew his whistle loudly. "He's whistling at my carnival special," thought Rosie proudly. Oh my! But Stepney was whistling because the freight car of sugar was now rolling towards him. Stepney was covered in pink sugar from funnel to footplate. Henry hadn't arrived, so the dock's manager asked Salty to take the woodsman.
Aye, yes, sir.
Salty tried to get to the wishing tree, but all the tracks were blocked with freight cars. "Hello, Henry! The special woodsman can't get through to the wishing tree. They're the only ones that can help. Without them, the tree will have to be cut down." At last, all the tracks were clear. Henry collected the special woodsman. "Thank you, Salty." Then he wheezed quickly away. Mavis was at the washdown. She was enjoying a soapy soak. But Thomas couldn't see Mavis. He raced backwards into the washdown and biffed into Mavis, who came off the rails. Oh, rattling rods. Woo! And the two engines raced quickly away, backwards. Then there was trouble. Harry and Bert were enjoying a rest at the engine sheds, but Thomas and Diesel couldn't see them. They raced backwards towards Harry and Bert. With a crash and a bang, Thomas and Diesel smashed Harry and Bert right through the back of the engine sheds. Stones and timber flew everywhere. He lowered Mavis back onto the tracks. "I'm sorry I bashed you. I was trying to win a race." Mavis was relieved to be back on the track. Harry and Bert were soon back on the rails. "I'm sorry I biffed you. I should have done my job instead of trying to be the fastest." "It's starting to snow, James. You should check the weather with the yard manager." Harold swooshed in. "There's bad weather all over the island. It's very hard to see the tracks." "Then, James, we better go to Henry's tunnel." James sniffed. James slowed down at the bottom. They would get stuck in the drift. "Onwards, onwards! Don't slow down, James!"
I'm a very heavy freight car. We must race down the hill at full speed.
Then we will biff the train right through the snow. "Okay, James, go!" Hector and James raced faster and faster down the hill. There was a mighty biff, and Hector pushed the train right through the snow. Pleased. Hector was happy to have helped, and James was happy to have a new friend. Then Neville arrived to collect some freight cars. He was excited. "The brass band is arriving at Brendam Docks." "Hooray! I like the brass band." "So do I, but I'm never asked to pull them. If you go to the washdown now..." Cinders and ashes. There's Percy again. He was sure Percy was going to see him this time, so Thomas hid behind Duck. Percy puffed past. He didn't see Thomas hiding behind Duck's long line of freight cars. "Thank you, Duck." Duck looked puzzled. Thomas steamed onto the docks as fast as his pistons would pump. Duck was having a washdown. Duck was surprised to see Gordon so far from the express track. "Hi, are you lost? Would you like some help?"
No, thank you. I'm not lost.
And Gordon chuffed away. It was a repair yard. Gordon saw Oliver and Toad. They were having their wheels oiled. They were surprised to see Gordon so far from the express track.
Are you lost? Would you like some help?
No, thank you. I'm not lost. And Gordon chuffed quickly away. Ben was shunting a flatbed with logs. Gordon biffed straight into them. The logs started to roll down the hill. Bust my buffers. Those logs will block the lower track. I must stop Stanley. But Gordon didn't know which track to take to find Stanley. Gordon was lost. What have you done? Gordon knew his shortcut hadn't worked. Now he needed to ask for help. Can you help me, Ben? I have to get to the lower track as fast as possible. Of course. Ben was happy to help. Gordon saw Oliver and Toad puffing towards him. Please, stop! I'm lost. I need to get to the lower track as quickly as possible. Oliver was happy to help. Take the left track. And Gordon raced on. Then he saw Duck chuffing over a bridge. Please stop! I'm lost and I'm in a hurry. Duck was happy to help. You must take the track on the right. Thank you. Soon, Stanley was chuffing along. He shunted Thomas behind him. And Murdoch shunted Rocky. They reached the bottom of the steep hill. And they all puffed on. And Rocky set to work. The water tower was starting to wobble. Thomas saw Duck was right next to it. Duck puffed quickly forward. The water tower crashed to the ground. I rescued you. No, you didn't. Rocky was putting the water tower on my flatbed, and now it's smashed. Thomas hadn't seen Rocky. Rocky had been hidden behind the trees. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to help you. I have to collect the firefighter. He's a hero. Signalman changed the points. Just then, Harvey raced towards the junction. He changed tracks and puffed down the other line. Harvey was surprised. He saw Donald and Douglas stuck behind the fallen tree. I hope Harvey gets here soon. Aye, we can't go anywhere until he moves this tree. Thomas knew he'd made a mistake. We need Harvey. Then Thomas found Harvey. He took Harvey to move the fallen tree. Harvey soon cleared the track. He saw Bertie the bus. The children were standing around him. What's the matter? I'm stuck in the mud. Now I can't take the children to the medal ceremony. Shall I take the children for you? Yes, please. Then Murdoch puffed alongside Emily. I'm going to Farmer McColl's too. Lots of lines are flooded. Take the Wellsworth track. I'm not going on that track. It's much quicker to go through the forest. I'm excellent Emily. I can make it through. Emily met Duck at a junction. Trevor's waiting for you. Don't worry. I'll be there soon. Some of the tracks ahead are very muddy. If you get stuck in the mud, it's going to take even longer. I'm excellent Emily, and I know which tracks to choose. Duck was worried. Murdoch puffed over. I'm very sorry, Murdoch. You were right. Please, will you pull me out of the mud? Of course, Emily. Soon, Murdoch was chained up to Emily. Emily pumped her pistons. Then she stopped. The tracks on Gordon's Hill are still being cleared. You should take the valley route instead. Thank you, Murdoch. And she puffed away. Emily. Soon, Harvey cleared the track, and Emily was on her way again. Emily pulled up at a junction. Ahead, take the longer track. Soon, Emily arrived at the airport. Trevor cleared the runway. Just in time. Jeremy landed smoothly and safely.